Currently the time is 5:30 a.m. and I think it's time to do some stuff. There's the BC coils. I'm going to get started on those for the old Mustang. And so I guess I get dressed and we get started. And there she is. She's already got the really nice wheels. So I'm gonna go on ahead and pull her out, pull her in, and hopefully get started. So we'll see how that goes. Here's what I got right here to work with. There's the BC coil overs. I'm gonna have trouble adjusting the camber. I think I'm gonna have to drill out the strut tower to be able to get a hold of those screws in there to adjust the camber when they do the alignment. But she's ready, so I'm just gonna get her all taken apart, and then I'll come back and update y'all. Alright, so what I got here are some iBox springs with stock struts. So, I mean, they did the job okay. I haven't had them on there too long, maybe about a couple months. Not bad, but could be a lot better with the coilovers for sure. So, got everything ready and in line to go, so I'm going to get this done. Alright, so there's the old strut. Thing was a monster. Has the iBox springs on it, or spring I should say, compared to the new ones. Pretty nice piece of hunkin' meat, if you ask me. But anyway, I got it all out, so I'm gonna go on ahead and install the new strut. I might die because I don't have any help right now, but it's real early, so I don't expect anybody to be up that I know that could help. Anyway. Alright, so here's the dealio. This right here, I had to grind and break away from the strut itself, because this bar right here, with the BC coil being so low on the other side, and this bar that came with the BC coils was a lot shorter than this, and I believe this is stock, so it pulled this bar up, because this bar used to sit way down here, and with the differences between the lengths, it pulled it up, which made it really hard to disconnect this bar from the coil, because it was all the way up and I couldn't pull the screw out. So I had to go ahead and do that. A little dangerous, but I got it done. Not worried about it. It's all gross anyway and rotted. Shit, burping. Everything else is seeming to be okay. This is the new one. I mean, that's literally half of the other piece, and it's already the same size as the one that came with the BC coil. So, yeah. There's the other piece right there. But trucking along, so I will keep going. Alright, so I got it all in, but a little unsure, because there's different things that are kind of puzzling. So I want to know what the orientation is. See that down here connects to your brake caliper and everything, or your brake rotor and the whole control arm piece. But then up here, like, I don't know which way this is supposed to face. Is this supposed to face that way, this way? Like, I don't know. Because I guess my problem is this top hat piece right here rotates. So, like, let me show you what I'm talking about. So it rotates like that. So I don't know if it's supposed to be like that towards the back, or this way. So I don't know. So I'm just gonna go trial and error it. I gotta do the other side. And so far, everything seems okay, but I won't know until I have this other one on. For sure. Just gotta get that out. And here's another question I had is this right here, this little bar back here, it has 3 different areas that I can adjust it. There's like 3 little places where it can go into. One's this way, one's the middle, and one's over here. I don't know if it offsets it or, you know what I'm saying? So I don't know. I think I'll just have to take it to a shop and see when I get the alignment done to see if they have any idea. So that's my only drawback right now, and hopefully I don't have to take them apart and redo everything. But so far, I put the little notch on the top of the hat facing here. So that's where that notch is at. So it's round and then notch. I don't know. We'll figure it out, I guess. But it didn't take very long to get done. The first one, anyway. So I'm going to start working on this one. Well, here I am going to Lowe's. Ended up I ran into an issue with the top of the strut towers. And so basically I have to widen the top of the strut tower so I could eventually be able to adjust the camber, because there's not enough room to get the tool in there and adjust the camber. So here I am. I'm gonna go do this and hopefully figure out a way to safely and cleanly open up that top of the strut tower. Anyway. Alright, here's an update. So I had to cut off all that extra crap, well, not really extra, but smaller, so it opened up the diameter a little better. Let's see. Guess that's really it. Everything looked like it fit fine. So now they can get in there and adjust the camber when they need to. I just need to buy some paint and a rasp so I can clean up those corners or edges, I guess you could call it. But trucking along. It's actually turning out not to be easy. The installation itself is fairly easy. It's just, man, it's a lot of extra work. But I guess in the end it'll be worth it. God. It's getting late. Not really. It's actually pretty early out there. That don't make sense. I'm tired. I didn't really sleep last night, but I will keep everything up to date. So, pushing forward. Alright, I got it all cut out. It looks like things are going to clear. Be a lot easier to get an Allen wrench in there. So when they do it, and the paint stuff right here, it's not going to stay like that. I'm going to wipe it off with some kind of solvent and clean it up really nice. I just want to get the edges so that whether it's not raw metal, and probably possibly paint match. But yeah, it was a task, I'm not gonna lie. I had to run all the way to Lowe's like 3 or 4 different times because I needed a rasp, I needed sandpaper. I don't know, I should have just been more prepared and did all that before I started the project. But it's coming along, so just gonna finish up this side and finally be done. Well, far from done. I still have to do the rear, but done with the front at least. Okay, so day 2, I had to give up because a lot of bullshit went down. So the left driver's side was lower than the right side, which I adjusted both shocks at equal lengths and equal what do you call that, binding in the shock and the spring itself. Can't think of the word real quick. I know you guys know what I'm talking about, but like this right here, the weight of that, the pressure of that is equal on both. This is equal, this is equal. This is a whole new setting. I redid the binding on these two, and hopefully it'll change it. But yeah, it's been a pain in the nuts, honestly. So I took it all out, and then of course up here I had to make all that modification cutout and everything, so I'm in the process of making it look nice. I used some JB Weld around the top plate, because this is a plate. This whole plate thing right here comes off, so if I ever had to replace it, I could just go to the junkyard and get one of these and it'll look like new. So I just put JB Weld on it to smooth it out on the corners. I'm going to go back and file and sand some of that to make it look nice, and then repaint it. Did the same thing on both ends. So when they align it, they can't tell me that they can't align it because of the access to the bolts on top of the strut. Those right there. So anyways, I'm in the process of doing the rear. Seems like it'll be a lot easier, knock on wood, but hopefully it's not a complete mess like it's been from the front. So a lot of frustration and a lot of work to get this thing done. And then in the process of this, all my battery took a shit on me, so I have it on the charger. Hopefully it's just needs charging and not a new battery, because that'd be about 150 bucks. And also change the oil. I bought the car back in July and I haven't changed the oil since then, but I also don't drive the car very much, so you know, I'm not sure if they ever changed the oil or not when they had it at the dealership. From the looks of it, it doesn't look like it because it was pretty black. And I'm finding some new stuff, like it's got a Skida dampener on the bottom, race dampener, and it's got a lot of things. You know, it's got a cam in it. It's got a heavy cam if it has a cam. And if anybody out there that's watching this knows about the 3 valves, let me know, because I'm not sure you can get a ghost cam tune on this, because I didn't tune this car. It came and it had its own tune in it, obviously, because it's got cams and you know, the intake manifold and the cold air intake. You have to have some kind of tune for that. So it's unknown to me, but if anybody can tell me if a ghost cam is even available for a 3 valve, and if it isn't, then that clears it up and it's definitely cammed, because this thing just chops. I mean, it sits at idle and it's just lobing hard, and it doesn't almost die out either. Like, you know, like a lot of people say with the ghost cam, you let off the gas and it drops super low RPMs and almost dies. Well, this one very, very rarely does that. I think it's happened maybe once or twice. Other than that, it stays pretty solid. But man, so much work to do this thing. I bought a red leather interior. I think it'll go good with this Highland green, and I'm gonna put that in. It looks brand new, actually, the guy I'm getting it from. And of course those things over there, those panels, I gotta get those fixed. I'm probably gonna do red, and I don't know, just getting it all together. I really like this car. It's so retro. I'd rather have this body style than the 11s and up, the 09s and up, or 10s and ups, I guess. The 10 and up. The 10 all the way up to the 14s, they look cool, but I just don't like the rear ends on them. Like these rear ends, everything just looks 60s. It looks 60s, you know? And so hopefully I can keep that look. I don't even want to put a spoiler on it, to be honest with you. But I don't know. I guess I will keep you guys updated. So here I go again. I'm going to try to work this out and get this rear end done, and then I'll update you on that. Alright, I got these rears installed. It actually wasn't that hard. I'm just going to have to figure out how to adjust them right to match the front. This is all new to me, honestly. I mean, seems like it's easy, but in all reality it's kind of not, especially when you start running into issues from the previous situation in the car as far as suspension goes. But I'm gonna call it a night. So this is gonna go on to 3 days. Oh my gosh. I have friends that help, but they were here earlier and they kind of just hung out. But no worries, I'll get it done. I'm gonna get it done. Look at this shit. That's the subwoofer, the 210s that came in this car. Those are the amps that power everything, I guess. I'm gonna put an aftermarket stereo in it, so I got all that stuff right here. And I don't know how that's gonna work. I know I have the harness. I have like this special harness that I bought that allows the amps to work with the aftermarket stereo. So hopefully that works, but I honestly don't know if I want to keep that. I might put aftermarket everything else. I have one Alpine amp that I like that's 1,000 watts, and I have two JL W3 subwoofers that I would like to put in here. So I might just do that. I don't know. I'm tired. I think I'm gonna go to Taco Bell. I think that's the only thing that's really open right now. Coronavirus is eating everything else. Things getting crazy. Stuff's out of control. But anyway, I will see you guys in the morning. This is going on to be a very extensive video. Got some beef jerky on the wall over there. Alright, well, I'll see you guys in the morning. Well, gotta make a junkyard run. I gotta get a bushing for the strut tower. My bushings were completely shot and I can't find anything in town. And Ford, it's gonna cost $60 to get bushings from Ford, the dealership, so screw that jazz. Just go to a junkyard. I think I'm in the wrong lane. Anyways, that's what's up right now. Alright, so I was able to go to a junkyard and find the bushings I needed. So there they are up there at the top. It's literally from an 05 all the way up to a 14 Mustang. The bushings are fairly nice. I mean, I found a good deal on them. I only paid $5 for them. And like I said, they're super expensive to order from Ford, and it takes a long time to order online, which I don't have the time for. But those are in. It's looking good. I don't know, I left all the specs and adjusting, or I left the adjustments the way the BC coils came, because they said that they're pretty much set out of the box, and then you can kind of go from there. But they look like they're going to be super low, so I'm going to have to put this bad boy on to see exactly where they're at. And this mess, I'm going to finish that now and hopefully get everything done. And I got some paint, so I'm going to sand all this down. I'm going to get it all smooth and looking really good, and clean up the edges so it's not so messy looking, and then paint it. I bought paint from a place we call DNS here in Pueblo. They actually match your paint. You give them the VIN number of your car, and they pretty much put it together, and they put it in an aerosol can, and you get one stage, or whatever you call that, single stage, which has clear and color in it. So you just have to spray. It's good for touch-ups and cover-ups like this, so it should turn out pretty nice. Oh, what a day. I think that's where I spent most of my time, is looking for those damn bushings. The first place I went, usually I go to, it's a junkyard here in town. I won't say their name, but they're usually pretty good. You know, I usually go over there for everything, because they usually have everything, and they're fairly good with pricing. And today I went, and the man was really in a salty mood. I walked in and showed him what I needed. I just said I need to find some bushings off of a Mustang, and he looked at another customer and said, "That's what I'm talking about." And I was like, "What's going on?" And he's like, "Well, people wanting little pieces of shit like that all the time." He's like, "I don't even know why I run a business." And so I was just like, "All right, well, peace. I'm out of here. You're in some kind of a mood, obviously." So as I was walking out of there, pissed off, I basically told him, you know, if you don't want business, don't run a business. And I made that very loud. Probably shouldn't have said it. It's the old geezer. Coronavirus has them all stressed out. At least that's what I'm assuming. But yeah, so that kind of threw me back a little, because I know I could have gotten the part from there instantly. So I had to come over here, and I ended up finding a new junkyard out here by where I live. So I guess it was meant to be, because now I know where to go. But anyhow, yep, that's where I'm at. It's taking forever, but I'll get it done, and then off to get an alignment. So I will let you know what I'm doing next. Alright, there she is. It's taken me a while to get this video completely finished, but that's with the BC coils on. Everything's set and aligned and ready to go. So take a look.
I live inside my own world of make-believe. Kids screaming in their cradles, profanities. I see the world through ice covered in ink and bleach. Cross out the ones who heard my cries and watched me weep. I love everything. Fire spreading all around my room. My world's so bright, it's hard to breathe, but that's alright. Hush.